All right, can you hear me now? Test. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, I got you. I have an external mic I had hooked up, but I think I have to actually turn it on, and I can't do it while I'm doing the live stream. So, all right, cool. How's the sound? Does it sound decent? I'm standing behind it right now. All right, let me go around the front. All right, how about now? I'm standing over here in the playing area. How's the sound? All right, cool, cool. I think it'll sound better once I have my external mic hooked up, but I actually had to do that before I started the recording, so we're just going off the phone mic right now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through a couple of phases of Warlords of Erewhon. So this is a game I'm building. I've been building it now for, I don't know, about a month, and I've got enough built now that I can actually do a small game. So I don't have the Warlord units themselves, so I don't have any leaders yet. But I'm just going to run these two forces against each other. So let me grab my trusty swagger stick. So on this side we got the undead. We have one unit of sword armed skeletons. We have one unit of bows and one unit of spears. Each are 7 men. And on this side we have the orcs. So we have a 6-man orc unit of bows, 6-man sword unit, and 6-man halberd unit. So weapons wise, the halberds are the best of the weapons on this table as far as hand to hand goes. They give you a bonus in to hit and as well as to wound. And the swords give you a bonus to hit. And the bows give you no bonus at all. And the spears, I believe, give you a bonus to hit as well. So let me grab some order dice. Guess I should have had all this stuff ready to go earlier, but this is just a test. So we got 3 gray and 3 green. So the green will be the orcs, the gray will be the skeletons. Alright, tape measure, and I'm just not on top of it. Okay, so the order dice, same mechanic as bolt action, draw a dice, and the 6 sides of the dice tell you what that unit can do. So I'm not going to get into all the rules, obviously. I'm just going to do a basic charge the middle and fight each other. So first things first, skeletons. So all these units have a basic move of 5 inches. You can double that with a run, or you can sprint and triple it, but then you have to take an exhaustion test and you roll a, I believe it's agility or something, one of the stats you have to take a test on, and if you fail you take a pin. So we'll just move this skeleton unit up, and I don't want to take a pin, so I'll just run them, or I'll run them 10 inches straight forward. Okay. Next, another skeleton. So the range of the bow is 20 inches. So I'm obviously not in range, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the archers up 10 as well. And one of the interesting rules in this game is, unlike chain of command or bolt action, you can have a squad kind of set up like this and all of them can shoot. In this game, the individual shooters in the squad itself have to have line of sight. So if you had a skeleton back here, he could not shoot. They have to all have direct line of sight to the enemy with no obstruction in front of them. We'll see how that works. I'm sure that it was put in there for a reason. And again, the skeletons. So my spear arm skeletons will just run up as well. And that means the rest of the dice are the orcs, and they will do exactly the same thing. Just run up. should be in range now for the bows. So again, he actually has to be on the line if he wants to shoot. I can't put him behind. And then we'll just move these guys up. Alright, that's it for that. So put the dice back in the bag. Alright, so now the orcs. So let's see what our range is. So 20 inches would be long range, so you'd get a -1 to hit. 10 inches, you're in normal range. So one of the things I could do with these orcs, in this game, the ambush order is used more like an interrupt. So if I put an ambush on them, as soon as any enemy unit within 20 inches of them activates, they can interrupt. So all these skeletons are now within 20 inches, so I put them on ambush. So as soon as one of these skeletons move, I could shoot at them. So the next dice, another orc dice. Okay, so that was drawn before the skeletons could get onto Overwatch or ambush, I guess it would be. Okay, so these orcs here, I'm going to move them straight ahead. So when you're moving across open ground like this, you just move normally. Say I want to enter these woods here, I would be having to take an agility test. So that's how difficult terrain is handled in this game. If you want to go into or move out of any kind of terrain, you have to take an agility test. So the orcs are agility 5. So this uses D10s, by the way. It's kind of new to me. So I want to move into the woods. I want to run into the woods so I can get up along that fence line. So if I make this agility test, if I roll less than a 5, I can just move as normal. If I don't, I just move up to the edge and stop. So 8, so I fail. So they don't make it into the woods. So they're just going to move up to right there. All right. Next one. Skeleton die. Okay. I think I will move these guys up. So they're just going to move straight up the road. And we'll just go 5. So I'm farther than 20 inches. Actually, one orc is within 20. So another kind of interesting rule is that if one model is within range, then they all can fire regardless of the range of the rest of the unit. So I will move up just my normal move of 5. And I will trigger the Overwatch for the orcs. So now they're going to do some shooting. So there's 6 of them. Alright, so shooting, let's see here. So you use an accuracy test. The accuracy of an orc archer is only 4. And we are at long range, so 3s. So probably not a really good idea to take this shot, but I want to do it anyway. I don't know how long this is going to last. So I need 3s on these to hit the skeletons. So I got 3 3s. So 3 out of 5 hit, not bad. So just like bolt action, the unit, if they take a hit shooting, the unit takes a pin. And now I have to roll saves for the skeletons. So, sorry, I'm going back and forth so much here, but still new to this. So a skeleton warrior, his save, they call it in this game a resist. His resist is 5, but he is wearing light. They are all wearing light armor, which gives them a +1, so their resist is actually 6. A lot of weapons have something called a strike value, and strike value modifies it. It reduces the armor of the target. Arrows do not have a strike value. Bow, yeah, no strike value. So I'm just straight sixes are my saves. So what are the things you can do? You can allocate wounds. The squad leader, or the leader of the, what do they call them here? They call them, what do they call the leaders? Not squad leaders, obviously, it's just leader, okay, skeleton leader. So the skeleton leader, he has a better command, a 7 as opposed to 6 for the rest of the squad. And then he has a special rule called tough, which means he can re-roll a failed save. So it's a way to try to reduce the amount of damage you take, but it's also dangerous that you could lose your leader. So I will roll for the skeleton leader, needing a 6 or less. A 0, that's not good. So 0 means a 10. You cannot re-roll 10s or 1s. You can't. So you can, some game mechanics allow you to force your opponent to re-roll a dice that hits or something. But if it's a 1, you can't make them re-roll. And if you're rolling a save like this and you roll a 10, I can't re-roll. So I can't use the tough rule. So I just lose my skeleton leader. And then the other two, a 5 and a 7. So I lost another skeleton. So it turns out to be not really that bad of a move to spring the Overwatch. And let's see what we got next here. Green, that's the orcs again. Obviously I'm playing this game against myself, so this is just a test. Have anyone with us still? Whoa. Yeah. Hold on. Let me look at the comments here. The lighting is a bit bright. Okay, hold on a second. I have some of my extra lights turned on. Let me turn them off. So that's the studio lights are off. Now it's just the overhead lights. Is that any better? When you're taking on over the skeletons, the sound is low. Yeah, I don't have my external mic hooked up right now, and I'd have to pick the camera up. I don't know if I could leave this and have it run. So the next one I do, I'll plug my mic in. I did a test with the mic, just recording on the camera, with and without, and it was louder with the mic, but I can't do it right now. I started the live stream before I hooked it up for some reason. So anyway, is that better lighting wise? Red mist. I think that book is pretty bright over there, isn't it? Let me turn the camera a little bit. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to move the orc. So we killed 2 of the skeleton spearmen with the bows. And I have left is 1 orc unit, which I will move just up to the fence with a normal move. Then we can use this to show how to go over obstacles. Actually, I should probably pull back from the obstacle a little bit. If you're starting your turn right up against something like a linear obstacle like a fence, you can move as normal. But if you're starting back, then you have to do an agility test to see if you make it. So the rest of the dice will be the skeletons. And we have the archers. I think we might fire at, let's fire at these guys over here. No, we'll fire at his archers. They're doing a lot of damage, so long range. So one of the modifiers you get, so with bows you can actually do an advance and shoot. But if you stay still and do an aimed shot, it's called, which is a fire order, you get +1. So skeleton's accuracy is, what is it? Sorry, I'm doing a lot of rule book diving here. Accuracy 5. So I'm needing 5s, but I get +1 for the aim shot, but I am over half distance, so that goes back down to 5 again. So I got 7 skeleton archers. even fives. So I got 2 4s, a 3, a 5, and a 4, and then an 8 and a 6. So 5 hits on the orcs. They are also toughness, not toughness, it's called resist in this game, not toughness. So their resist is 5, and they're also wearing light armor. So they're at a 6. So again, I'll try to put one on the squad leader, or the leader, in his tough rule. So a 5, so he makes it. And then I got 5 more. These are just going on the regular guys. So a 9 and an 8 and a 6 and a 4. So the 6 and the 4 pass. You just have to roll equal to or less than the skill or the stat. I got 8 and 9 as 2 dead orcs. So take them off. They take a pin for getting hit. And that's that. So we'll pick them up. See if we can get some combat here. So the orcs, okay. So we got these guys here. See if we can get through those woods and get into combat. So let's see any more. All right. What's up, Dave? Glad to see you made it. All right, these orcs are going to try to reach those skeletons. So again, if I'm trying to go through terrain, I need to take an agility test. So I want to do a run. I'm 10 inches away. Basic move is 5. I'm going to try to run through those woods. I'm pretty sure I can run through. I just have to pass an agility test. So their agility was, what was it? I need to get some quick reference sheets. So orc agility is 5. So if I roll 5 or less, I can make it through those woods. So I do. I get a 5. I'm just going to move these trees out of the way real quick. So we're going to charge these skeletons. So let's get them lined up. Okay, so another kind of interesting rule in this game is called exchange of missiles. So if you have a unit, say like the spears, they actually get a free round of shooting at the unit that's coming in. And they would get it as well if they were attacking. So spears, spears are the one that come into my head right away. You can't, if you're attacking with archers, you can't do it. But if you're defending with archers, they can fire. But in this case, the skeletons will get a round of spear chucking, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they're going to fight with them if they throw them, but whatever. I guess maybe they have a sword. So, let's check here. I believe there's a negative penalty for doing, yeah, exchange of missiles is a -1. So their accuracy is 5, but it's -1 for being exchange of missiles. So I'm down to 5 skeletons. So I'm needing 4s or less to hit the orcs on the way in. So 0 is automatic fail, obviously. 6, a 9, a 5, and a 2. So I got 1 hit. Sorry, I have a message. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the orc leader because he has the tough special rule. So should I fail this, I could re-roll it. But if I re-roll it and fail it again, then I am going to, actually, I'm sorry, a spear has a strike value of 1. So strike value reduces the armor or the resist roll of the target. So they're normally 6, they're 5, they have light armor which makes them 6, but the strike value of 1 from the spear gives them 5 again. So a 5 or less for the orc leader, a 5, so he makes it. So if I were to fail, his tough special rule will allow me to re-roll that roll. But he made it, and I believe they do take a pin, as normal, for getting hit by the missiles. So both sides have a pin now. So now we get into the hand-to-hand fighting. So hopefully here is where we're going to see how good these halberds are. Yeah, the sound, I'm using my phone, and I have an external mic. Again, I had it hooked up and I did a test, just video on the phone. It worked good. And then I started the live stream, and I didn't have my external mic for my phone hooked up. And when I hook it up, I have to actually tell it to let it use it. And to do that, I would have to stop the whole production. So next time it'll sound a lot better. All right, so in combat in this game, it's always simultaneous. The only time it would not be simultaneous is if one of the combatants had a down order. And then if that was the case, the attacker or the defender or whoever didn't have the down order would get to go first. But in this case, it's simultaneous. So we'll just start with the skeletons. So there's 5 of them. All right, so in this game, your to-hit roll is called your strength. So the skeletons are strength 5. They're armed with spears. Spears give no strength bonus. They only give a strike value bonus. So I'll be hitting on 5s with the skeletons. 5s or less. So that's only 2 hits. So the orcs are resist 6 with their armor. The strike value of the spear makes that down to a 5. So again, I'll put 1 on the orc leader. It's a 5, he passes, and I'll put 1 on one of the other orcs, a 4, he passes. So I take no pins. In this game, combat, you take a pin for every casualty that you take. It's not a pin like when you're getting shot at, you take a pin. You actually take a pin every time you lose a single model in the fight. All right, so now the orcs. So the orcs are stronger than skeletons, obviously. They have a strength of 6. They are also armed with halberds. And halberds are really good. Halberds give you a +1 to your strength. So they'll actually be on strength 7. So they'll be hitting on 7 or less on a D10, which is pretty good. And they also have a strike value of 2. So that's really good. So we'll just roll 1 for each orc. What do I have here? 7 orcs. So 8, 9 miss, 10 miss, 9 miss. So I got only 3 hits. So the skeletons are armor 6 because they're light armor. But the strike value of the halberds is 2, so that's down to a 5. So I need to roll 5 or less. I guess I should have rolled the leader separate, but we'll just put them on 3 regular guys. So a 9 and a 10, so 2 die. And I take 2 more pins. So I'm now at 3 pins. Whoever takes the most pins in the combat loses the combat. And then what you have to do when you lose a combat is you have to take a test. And that is called a break test. So whoever loses takes a break test. A break test is a test against the unit's command. So our command, it was 7, but we lost our leader, so our command is now 6 minus 3. So I got to roll a 3 or less, or I break. So let's see what we get here, a 3. So they actually stay in the fight. If not, they would have made they would have actually taken, they suffer another D6 additional pins, which is crazy. And then they are either destroyed or routed. So if you fail, if you have more pins than your leadership, which I would at 9, the unit's destroyed. If not, you just move back. I think a normal move backwards away from the enemy, and then you're routed. But luckily we survived. Let's see here, routed units. Give the routed unit a run order. take a dice from the bag if it has not yet drawn its dice. Unit makes an immediate full 2 movement run, so 10-inch run directly as possible towards its own. You move towards your own table edge. Once the unit is routed, it retains its run order from the turn to turn, so it uses the retained run order, which means that at the beginning of the next turn they would continue to run. But kind of a really interesting and cool thing that I like about this game is, if say that these guys did route, we'll just say they're back here now, and that they aren't dead because they exceeded their starting command. This unit here could actually, when I pulled their dice, I could give them a rally order, and any routing unit 10 inches from this unit would actually get to use that rally order and take some pins off. So it's a good way to keep routing units your own side in the fight. It was by using a rally order on units that don't even really need it. Obviously, if they need it, then it has benefit both ways. But anyway, so I guess I'll put these guys back. So they're just still at three pins. And the fight, so hold on here, so follow-on combat, so if both sides survive hand-to-hand fighting, then the winner can decide to fight instead of consolidating. So since I won, I could consolidate and do a normal move any direction I want, but obviously I'm going to stay and do the fight because I think I can finish these skeletons off. So when you're fighting, I forgot that I also got I was supposed to get a +1 strength on the charge as well. So I would have had actually an 8 for my strength, because I would have had 6 base, +1 for charge, +1 for halberds. Oh well. But I'll still get a +1 because in follow-on combat, if you're the winner, you get another +1 as well. You don't obviously get it for the charging because that's over, but you get +1 for winning the fight. So we'll continue fighting. So the orcs will go first. Yep. And they are needing 8s, 8 or less on D10, which is all hits. So that's not good for the skeletons. So I guess I just, I don't know. I guess I just allocate all of the hits to all 3 models, I guess. Alright, so 3 on that guy. Yeah, he's dead. 3 on the middle guy. He's dead. 3 on the last guy. He's dead. But it is simultaneous, so even though they died, they actually get to swing back. So they're hitting on 5s, but no strength value for the spears. So they get 3 hits. Put 1 on the orc leader. He makes it with a 5. No strike value bonus for the spears, and then 2 other orcs, and 8, so we lose 1 orc. Take another pin. The skeletons are wiped out. So halberd armed orcs are pretty damn good. Definitely better than spear armed skeletons. So I would get to consolidate a normal move, which I'll just move straight forward and see if I can roll up this flank here. There is no flanking shots or anything in this game, by the way. Just in my head, I imagine rolling this line up here. So yeah, that was the orc dice. So they handily won that combat. Obviously the skeletons are not really a great match for the orcs like this. The skeletons do have a necromancer as their leader that came with the box, and he's got some really good spells that he could use to buff the skeletons. He could nerf the orcs. He can cast fiery balls at the orcs. So he can do a lot of, the magic is pretty good in this game. And that's really what the skeletons need to even the playing field here. But I don't have him ready yet. So next is the skeletons. So I think we'll just shoot at those orcs. Actually, what I'll do is I want to get out of the way. So I'm going to use the advance order and just move back 5. And with bows, you can move and shoot. Other weapons like, obviously, heavier weapons like catapults, you can't, crossbows you can't move and shoot, you have to do a fire order. But bows you can move and shoot. And with a 20-inch range, so I am in long range, I'm over half. So what do I need here? So my base is a 5, and negative modifiers, long range is it, so 6 sixes. So I got 7 skeleton archers, needing 6s. 2 misses. It's pretty good. So 5 hits, they take another pin, and these pins will come into play in a minute. As soon as they need to do something, like next turn, they're going to have to pass an order check to be able to do anything, similar to bolt action. So the 5 hits from the bows, I'm going to put 1 on the orc leader because he has the tough special rule. So I get to re-roll this. No strike value for the bow. An 8, he misses. So I'm going to re-roll that. Tough rule, a 2. So he makes it. So the orc leader is good, and then 4 other orcs needing 6s. I got 110 as a dead orc. So down to 5 orcs now, and they are at 4 pins. So it'd probably be a good idea for me to rally them next time, because with 4 pins, passing an order on a leadership of 7 is not going to be easy. Alright, so let's see here what's next. Let's get all these casualties out of the way. Let me see, is there... Alright. I'm just looking at the messages here. This Warlord's new game. Yeah, this is Warlords of Erewhon. It's pretty cool. I'm liking it so far. Next die is the orcs again. So I'm going to try to get across that fence. So since I'm not starting directly next to the fence, I can't move normally. What I have to do is take an agility test. So an orc's agility, surprisingly, is not very good. Agility 4. So I need to pass an order test or an agility test. And what I want to do is I want to move over the fence and get up against that next fence. So I'll give a run order, and I need to pass an agility test of 4 or less. 7, they don't make it. So what they do is they'll just move up to the obstacle and stop. There we go. So next die is the skeletons. I guess I should take the skeleton dice out since they lost a unit. So what do I have left? The archers went, so what I have left is these skeletons here. I'm half tempted to go this way and see if I can do some damage to them, but these guys will be right behind. With an agility of 4, these 2 fences might slow them down, because they can clear this one, but they're going to have to do another agility test to get over this one. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put my faith in these fences, slowing down that those sword-armed orcs there, and I'm going to do I can almost make it. So I could do a triple move or a sprint, which I am within 15 of this orc. So I can sprint all the way into combat with these orcs. I will have to take an exhaustion test, however, which if I fail will give me a pin. So there's, what is it? What are they? I believe an exhaustion test uses the agility. Let me just double check that real quick here. Movement. And bear with me. Sprint. Exhaustion. Yeah, agility test. So agility of a skeleton is 5. So on anything more than a 5, I'm going to take a pin. A 9. So yes, they're exhausted. Very tired. Alright, so now we're going to do some combat. So the skeletons charged, they get a +1 to their strength. So the skeleton is strength 5. They get a +1 for charging. And they're armed with swords. And swords give you a +1 strength and a +1 strike value. So I'm at a 7 with these skeletons now. So I need 7 or less with the skeletons to hit the orcs. So a 10 automatically fails, but the rest, yeah, all these hit. Nothing lower than this, nothing more than a 6. So now I got to put them on the orc. So again, I'll do the orc leader with this tough rule. These swords are strike value 1, so that negates the light armor of the orcs. So they'll be rolling on their normal 5 resist. So the orc leader, a 6, he fails. Tough special rule gets to reroll that, a 1. So he's good. And then the other, one thing I'm not clear on, which I should figure out, I have more hits than orcs. I don't remember how it works. I guess I'll just do all the hits. So I have 4 orcs left, so I'll do 2 on 2 of them and 1 on the other. I'm gonna have to definitely look into that. So that orc makes it. Eating a 5. That orc's dead. And then another orc, good. And another orc dead. So 2 orcs dead, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. So that's 6 more pins on the orcs. So they had 4, they're at 10. They're actually going to be dead because they are going to rout. But I believe they get to fight back. Like I said, I'm still new to this. I've kind of messed around with it a little bit. So I had, 2 orcs dead? 3 orcs dead? I think it was 2. And then 10 pins, which is way over their command. So they're going to die from, as soon as you reach your command with pins, the unit's gone. I'm not sure if they get to actually, they do get to swing back. So I had 4 orcs there, I believe. So they're going to do 4 swings back with their halberds. Their strength 6, +1 for the halberd. So 7, so all hit. So I'll roll 1 on the skeleton leader. He's dead. It's a 10. 10s are not re-rollable with the tough, or for any purpose. So the tough rule again has been negated by a 10. And then the rest of the skeletons, minus strike value 2 for the halberd, so 2 more die. So they're actually going to take, they had 1 from exhaustion. I'm going to take 3 more. So they're at 4. Now I'm a little confused because I'll have to definitely double check this, but the orcs went over their command, but they actually won the battle. So yeah, I don't know how that works. We'll just say the orcs are dead for now. But anyway, you see how it works. It's a fun game. I can see it being a lot more fun with some, what do they call those guys? I'm really bad at fantasy. The wizards. The wizards. So let me look at the hair. I've never commented on your videos before. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so this is pretty much where I'm going to stop. I think you guys get the idea of how it works. It'll be a lot better with some magic users, and maybe get some giants and ogres and mounted knights would be really cool. There's just tons of units. The whole game is designed basically to allow you to field all those old fantasy models you got sitting on your shelves. That's what it was designed for. Yeah, you can use any model. They've got tons of different options for all the different armies, and I guess they're going to be coming out with some new armies PDFs too eventually. But yeah, so let's see here. Sorry, this camera's shaking. 11:35, hey Scott. 11:35, okay. That's tomorrow, right? Not today? Or yesterday? I don't know. I can never keep track of the time over there. Oh, tomorrow, okay. All right. I'm just scrolling through some of the comments here. Uh, yeah, the sound, next time it'll be better. I'll have my mic hooked up correctly next time instead of using the mic that's built into the phone. I like the pointer. I love it personally. I got it because I was getting some complaints about camera movement, and I understand that it's basically I was pointing at the units with the camera, so there's a lot of quick movements. I'm still getting good with trying to get good with the pointer itself. What I want to do is kind of keep a stationary camera view and then use the pointer to point at the units. My friend Jim Bob is the one who suggested that, and I thought it was a good idea, so I went out and bought this swagger stick. It's a U.S. Army swagger stick. It's got I'll show it here. It's got the U.S. Army crest, so it's a 50 cal on one end and a 7.62 on the other end. But my whole point is I want to use it to point at units, keep the camera stationary, and use this to point at them instead of moving the camera back and forth to try to show what unit's doing what. So let's see here. What about a boom mic? Yeah, that's actually what I have for my phone. And it's got a pretty long cable. I could stretch it up and hang it directly over the light, right over the top of the table. Canes. Yeah, that's what Jim Bob called it. So, but anyway, this is really just a test of the live stream. I saw Todd did one the other day. I was watching. I thought, that's pretty sweet. I should do one of those. So here it is. So I think next time what we'll do, I might get two other guys here to play the game, and I'll kind of narrate and talk to them and answer any questions or comments that are on the phone. And these guys will play the game if I can get two guys at once. Not always easy, but not impossible either. So, but yeah, is there anything else? Anyone got any other questions or anything? 3D, no 3D printed terrain. Most of the terrain I have is I made myself, obviously, except the buildings, but and the trees and the walls. But the roads I did, these fences I did, these things I did, these fields here I did those. These are just floor mats, just painted up to look like fields. Two players remote. What do you mean, like play against each other in different places? Or have people, oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good idea. Have two armies and then have each person kind of comment what they want the army to do. Yeah, that would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. Kind of like the old play by email days when you would send a turn to your friend and he would do it and he would send it back, but in real time. Yeah, that'd actually be pretty cool. Have to be a small game. Obviously, you couldn't do a large game like that, but maybe like a game of Bolt Action, 500-point game or something, just to test it out would be kind of cool. Yeah, yeah. Well, that'll be the point. Red Mist of doing the live stream would be, you could react in real time to all the mistakes that we're making. I also thought maybe about even doing some painting stuff with this. like a real-time painting session or something. I don't know. A lot of possibilities with the live stream that we could do. Something also we could do at tournaments or something. Even take the camera down there and live stream it. Live stream some of the action from the tournament. Yeah, yeah, a lot of possibilities. Yeah, I'm glad when I saw Todd's. I mean, I've seen this before on the YouTube. I never really even gave it much thought. I didn't think it would be that great, but it seems to be okay. So what game should we do? Bolt action, sharp practice, chain of command, no COC. What do you mean? Like, I don't know what you mean. Red mist, no COC. That's definitely a possibility. Yeah, house rules. That's what we call them. That's a good call, man. I like that. So, chain of command then for the first live stream, or maybe sharp practice, bolt action. I don't have enough to do Warlords of Erewhon live stream yet. I think it does, yeah. Todd said you can keep it. You can either just keep it forever, or you can just delete it. Yeah, bolt action is really fun. It's fast paced. It's got a lot of dramatic moments, and I like it. It's not obviously a. All right, Scott. Thanks for watching, man. Appreciate the feedback. Yeah, but bolt action's a fun game. It's beer and pretzels game. It's you get your toys on the table and you just start rolling dice. So it'd be I think it would be a good format for live streaming a bolt action game. It's not quite like Chain of Command where there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and you got to really think about kind of a few moves ahead. Bolt action you can pretty much play a lot faster. If we did Chain of Command, it would be a speed game. We would have to make some kind of rule where you have to move. You have, I don't know, 1 minute to make your decision on what you're going to do and do it. So obviously, I mean, when we film, I mean, our games will last. All right. See you, Greg. Thanks for coming by. But yeah, our games will last 4 hours sometimes. A chain of command video, and that it's condensed down to an hour by editing, but in real time it lasts 5 hours. Yeah, 4x4, and one of the in that new Fortress Budapest book, there's some pretty sweet missions in there designed for 4x4 tables, so that would probably be ideal for that. And they actually also have some very interesting deployment options as well, different. So, all right. Well, anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this one up, guys. So it's been 50 minutes. What games do we play? We play Chain of Command, Bolt Action, and Sharp Practice. And we're just starting on Warlords of Erewhon. And I've also gotten the rules for Ultra Combat Normandy, which is a skirmish level World War II game, which looks pretty cool so far from what I've read. Each guy, each guy can act independently. You don't have to move them in a squad. So like a squad of guys could be spread out over the whole board. Yeah, thanks, Shiloh. Thank you for coming by. And let's see here. What's that? Nick, chest claw. Yeah, chest claw would be fine. Something like that. I don't know what the penalty would be if you didn't do it in time. I mean, it'd be kind of harsh to be like, oh, sorry, you didn't get it in time, so you lose the rest of your command dice. But I mean, I guess that would be the point of a timer. If you didn't have a penalty, what's the point? So, but anyway, I'm going to head out, guys. So I just wanted to do this test. Hopefully everything worked out. Next time the mic will be attached and the sound should be better. So anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for another live stream coming up in the near future, hopefully in the next couple weeks or so. So see you guys later.